all is not well in Barcelona. From poor results on the pitch to now Messi fighting with the director of football, what is going on at the Blaugrana? In today's video, we will look at the top 5 problems going on in Barcelona right now. And if you are new here, be sure to watch my last video on Fede Valverde. I'm going to leave a tag up here and a link in the comments below because we are giving away a $50 Amazon gift card to one lucky subscriber, so be sure to not miss out. Now, back to the show. The first problem that immediately comes to mind with Barcelona right now is that they are undergoing an identity crisis. The term tiki-taka used to actually mean something. Teams would fear playing Barcelona because of their possession style of play, where they could never get the ball long enough to actually do anything, let alone score a goal. But nowadays, teams have adapted their tactics, and now they don't fear not having the ball. As a matter of fact, some teams actually invite Barcelona to keep the ball so they can counterattack their way to victory. Barcelona have not only not adapted over time, but they seem to blindly be aiming for this style that is no longer effective in modern football. This is also not helped by the fact that the directors are unable to bring in players who would actually help out with a possession style of football. In fact, the only recent signing that would actually make sense with tiki-taka would probably be De Jong, but he can't do it alone in the midfield. In fact, Barcelona have paid over 345 million in the past couple of seasons with the likes of Griezmann, Dembele, and Coutinho for not one of them to be an obvious success in the club. And don't get me wrong, they are all great players in their own right, but they do not fit into the possession style of football that Barcelona is so desperate to replicate. And I don't know about you guys, but to me it seems like Barcelona has 2 leaders. One who is striving for the tiki-taka of old and wants to play possession style of football where they use that to keep the ball and not let the opponent do anything, while the other wants to bring in very direct and physically gifted players instead of the technically gifted players that they need if they want to be able to play possession style football. One thing is for sure, it's an absolute mess at the moment with their ideology not matching their style of play. Which brings me to problem number 2. This clash between their players and style has ultimately led to a team who can still keep possession but has no goal threat. And this becomes blatantly obvious when the team gets into the final third because it seems like the forwards just run out of ideas or they just do not have the confidence to shoot. The team can definitely keep the ball, but most of their passes are either side to side or just pass it back. And this is obvious because they can keep 70% possession throughout a game, and that's great and all, but it doesn't mean anything if you end up losing the game. And a prime example of this was when they played Valencia, where they lost 2-0 but kept 80% possession of the ball in the first half. So you tell me, is Barcelona on the right track? Problem number 3 is that some players are just not pulling their own weight. Dembele is perpetually injured. Sergio Busquets and Piqué are a liability defensively. And with every day that passes, it is blatantly obvious that Griezmann just does not fit into this team and it is not working out. Anywhere that you look on the pitch, you can name at least one player who is not giving their all or is just not motivated enough to give their best. This problem, coupled with the fact that the players who do perform are run into the ground because of a lack of rotation in the starting 11. And as we have seen multiple times this season, Barcelona's bench cannot be counted on to get the result. Anytime there's any switch up to the starting 11, it seems like the cracks begin to show. So this definitely puts Barcelona between a rock and a hard place. Do you use your reserves knowing that you're risking getting the result? Or do you use your starting 11 game in, game out until they eventually fade in the later stages of the season? Tough call. Moving on now to problem number 4. And this is actually one of the most recent problems, and it's actually something that happened midweek, and I just had to include it in this video. I was already planning to make a problem video with Barcelona, and this just went right into proving why I needed to make this video. So, problem number 4 is that there is definitely tension between the directors in the club and the players. And Eric Abidal went into an interview to prove just that, basically. Because he was quoted in saying that he believes that the players aren't working hard enough and haven't been working hard enough, especially under Valverde, and this is what got him sacked. Well, Messi didn't take kindly to his words and went on Instagram and blasted his boss and former teammate. And just to summarize, Messi basically said that he and the other players know that they're not playing well. And if Eric Abidal believes some players are a problem, he should name them out specifically, because if he doesn't, it just creates rumors throughout the entire team. And oh man, this has led to some serious problems in the club right now, and they're finding themselves in a complete state of chaos. And everybody seems to be asking the same questions. Is Messi going to leave the club at the end of the season? Will Eric Abidal either be fired or will he resign from his post as director of football? But to me, the biggest question is, do you agree with Messi in publicly calling out Eric Abidal? Do you think he was defending his teammates? Or do you think this proves that Messi has more power than the coach and the directors in the club? I want to know what you guys think, because I find it very interesting and want to know what you guys think in the comments below. And before we get into problem number 5, I just want to take this moment to let everybody know that if you have not entered our giveaway, all you need to do is subscribe, like my previous video, and if you're enjoying this video, also give this one a like, as it helps the channel tremendously. And drop me a comment in my last video of who you want to see in next month's player analysis segment. One lucky subscriber will be chosen and announced on February the 29th in honor of leap year. Now, back to problem number 5, and what I ultimately think is the most serious problem, and that is Barcelona's over-reliance on Messi. It's been clear for the past couple of seasons that Barcelona depends on Messi, but it is obvious in the 2019-20 season that this is the case. No longer does Barcelona have Xavi or Iniesta to provide brilliant passes or creativity in the midfield. Barcelona no longer has Neymar on the wing with his dribbling ability and his speed to make the difference in crucial games. This team has been built around and to support Messi. It seems like every single player on the pitch looks up and immediately wants to find Messi. Players no longer take the responsibility to try and score a goal. No, instead they'll look for Messi even though he's surrounded by 2 or 3 defenders and give him some iffy ball and hope for the best. How many times has this happened throughout this season? Enough to be able to point it out, that's for sure. No more are the days where a through ball will find a perfectly timed run and end up in a team goal. No, now it seems like if Messi has an average game, Barcelona suffers. It's as simple as that. Football is a team effort, and you cannot depend on individual performances every single game to get you the win. It ultimately depends on the collective efforts of the entire team, and when you have a strong unit, that's when everything comes together and you see some brilliant football. But that is not what we're seeing with Barcelona currently, as Messi is always the one that the team looks for. And I know it's not entirely the team's fault, because Griezmann just has not clicked. Dembele is probably out for the rest of the season with another injury. I've lost count at how many injuries he's had. And Suarez is also out with a major injury, which maybe he'll come back towards the end of the season, but I would just go ahead and say it's safe to say that he is out for the rest of the season too. So this, coupled with the fact that the directors got rid of 2 more forwards and didn't bring anybody in, I don't blame Messi for being frustrated. Let's just leave it at that. Thank you to everybody who has made it until the end of the video as always, and do you agree with my top 5? If you do or if you don't, let me know why in the comments below. Do you think Barcelona will get it together in time with some very crucial games looming on the horizon? Or does it just seem like things are going from bad to worse with every single day that's passing? Let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you in the next one. As always, peace.